She's asking, do you have any plans in helping the teachers for their request and salary increase?
Okay. Every year, the teachers get automatic salary increases as part of the salary standardization program of the government. So, automatic yan. And insofar as teacher salaries is concerned, the teacher one basic is more than 19,000. And then plus all the other benefits, insurance, etc., health, allowances, mid-year bonus, end-year bonus, performance bonus, which can range from 5,000 to 35,000 pesos, 2 months vacation with pay, and so on. On the average, siguro for the whole year, the lowest salary would be at 25,000 pesos. Now, this salary is at least 30% higher than the average private schools. We don't necessarily think, when we say private schools, we don't necessarily think of the top 5 private schools. We think of the private school built by missionaries, by church institutions, by retired people out there in the province, out there in the city, out there in the barrios. I have visited private schools where their starting salary is 6,000 compared to 19,000 basic plus for public sector. As a matter of fact, what we are facing now is migration from private sector schools, and a good number of private schools out there in the province don't think the top 5 because they're taking care of themselves and their faculty. Small private schools are closing because they cannot keep up the competition from the public sector in terms of salaries. Also, we used to hear, when I was very much younger, horror stories about teachers going abroad to work as maids, as drivers, and so on. So far, DOLE has a program which says, sa Pinas, ikaw ay sir, ikaw ay ma'am at sir. And so far, 1,297 teachers working abroad have already indicated an interest to return to the Philippines because the basic salary is already competitive with what they earn in their jobs abroad. And we are processing their applications. So what we have is a reverse migration. Before, the thinking was that those in the private sector are highly paid compared to those in the public sector. And this is confirmed by the studies of the Philippine Institute of Development Studies of NEDA, which shows that at the very least, public school teacher salaries is 30% higher. In Mindanao, for example, compared to private schools in Mindanao, salaries of our teachers is 50% higher. So that is the situation. Again, compared also to other jobs in the public sector, like the nurses, like the engineers, the starting salary is practically the same, but the movement of the salaries of teachers is relatively faster. And this explains why in the Department of Education we have difficulty getting engineers, because we badly need engineers, because our salaries for engineers are not competitive. But in the meantime, we also have this migration private school teachers applying the minute they pass the examinations, they immediately apply to the public sector. It seems that teaching is the preferred choice of families, for example, titas, lolos, lolas, fathers, mothers who are abroad for their children to take. We know already of instances, I personally know of instances where tricycle drivers, jeepney drivers, massahistas encourage their girlfriends and their wives to take up teaching and go to school. And we have them in the public schools. So that is the situation of the teacher. I'm not saying that they should not have any increases anymore. I'm just saying that relative to their counterparts in the private sector, on the average, they're 30% highly paid. Owners of private schools get shocked when I tell them what is the what is the ongoing rate, but they know for a fact that they have difficulty keeping their teachers. So that's one. And also, if the teachers are so poorly paid, how come hardly anyone is leaving? Teaching is still the most attractive profession for many Filipinos. And one consideration is the stability of the salaries, the retirement to look forward to, and so on. I'm not talking about horror stories, which my own mother underwent when I come from a dynasty of teachers. But things have changed. The numbers have changed. Reality has changed as well.
Before you answer the next questions, we'd like to acknowledge, of course, the undersecretaries, Jess Mateo and Panisito Uman.
Next question po, ma'am, by Eduardo June Jaen. Gaano po kaseryoso ang DepEd sa pagpapatupad ng anti-bullying law?
May mga batas tayo laban sa pagbubuli. Ngayon, at the level of the department, nag-issue tayo several circulars. My predecessors already did that. Nagki-create tayo ng anti-bullying committees. In every school, mayroong committee. And teachers are always enjoined to report immediately any instances of bullying. And cases also have been filed. Complaints have been filed, and we take action on this because parents, of course, are very protective of their children. Oo. So, at the level of the school, kasi kami, where we are, hindi namin yan nakikita. It's the teacher who really sees. Ang instruction namin sa teachers, pag makikita sila ng sign, don't wait for violence to erupt. Pag makikita kayo ng the way the children behave towards each other, pag makikita kayo ng signals, kailangan may counseling kaagad, kailangan may mababantayan. And itong mga cases of bullying, sometimes, and we have cases, happen outside of the school premises. Nonetheless, the teachers are required to immediately report, to convene the committee. Kailangan mag-situation report kaagad, makarating sa amin. So, alam namin immediately kung may bullying cases, we give instructions and they have to report kung anong action ang in-undertake nila. At saka in many cases, of course, is the children who need counseling. We don't believe in capital punishment or, as they say, a tooth for a tooth, no.
Ma'am, ano pong pinakamabigat na penalty na ibibigay sa isang eskwelahan on yung sa bullying?
Exclusion. Not necessarily expulsion.
No.
Not closure,
Ang
suspension.
expulsion, ma'am. Ang expulsion po as distinguished kung makapasok sa ibang paaralan.
Ilipat sa ibang
Pero
eskwelahan.
yung exclusion po, yun po yung pinakamabigat. At may automatic review po ang aming kalihim.
Yes.
Dahil halos hindi na po talaga siya makapasok sa ibang paaralan.
Meron na pong kasong nangyayari na gano'n?
Wala pa tayong
Wala kung ano. Oo. Usually, mga disciplinary actions are undertaken. Tapos, dialogue sa parents because, immediately you will have two sets of parents or even grandparents. Yes, coming to the school and so on. And the teacher usually has to moderate, tapos abot sa principal. Pero ang importante, i-report ka agad sa amin yan para malaman namin. Oo.
Kung pwede magdagdag. Kasi ang pakay naman natin, yung kinabukasan ng bata. Kung expel mo yan kagad, diba parang meron lalong traumatic para sa bata. Kaya kailangan yung itong guidance na ginagawa natin sa bata.
Ang pinaka-extreme na aware ako na nakarating sa akin, yung paglipat ng bata sa eskwelahan. Oo. Tsaka importante yung counseling dyan. Kasi kung minsan, uulit din yung behavior na yan. At saka kailangan ng cooperation ng parents. Oo, participation ng parents sa mga challenges sa bata.
Ang lumilipat po, ma'am, yung nang-bully o yung na-bully?
Usually, ang nang-bully ang dinilipat. Oo.
Next question po. By Direct Mel. Why are theater plays banned? What happened now to the works of legitimate theater graduates who produce classical, historical, and other plays intended for the appreciation of students?
My USEX can correct me, but I'm not aware na mayroong ban sa paggawa ng pag-present ng mga theater plays. For example, Philippine School for the Arts. They're into theater. And they even participate in movies. Oo, pati yung teacher nila, yung principal nila, nakikita namin sa movie. I'm not aware that there is a ban on theater plays, especially history, mga classics. I mean, you cannot ban Shakespeare, or you cannot ban the new plays or the musicals and so on.
Baka ma'am nire-refer yung field trip, ma'am. Baka
Theater.
yung field trip yung nire-refer dyan, ano?
Sabi lang po, theater plays.
Theater.
Aha.
Theater, hindi ako aware.
Parang field trip na tapos sa theater.
O ginagamit yung field trip kasi meron moratorium nung
Doon sa
last year,
field
ma'am,
trip.
sa field trip.
Oo.
Pero syempre, pag yung manonood, baka ginagamit yun sa
Oo, kasi binabantayan namin yung mga bata. At least hindi masyadong problema sa basic education. Kasi ang teacher usually is in full control kung saan sila pupunta. Hindi kasama yung shopping. Baka ang parents gusto ng shopping. And I have always complained na halimbawa, hindi natin dadalhin yung mga bata sa lugar kung saan ang mga animals ay naka-cage, kung saan ang mga marine life ay pinipe-perform, at saka yung mga hindi realistic na mga fantasy stories. Ako, I believe in fantasy. I love fantasy. Pero kung minsan, kung pabalik-balik, yon, kailangan i-balance yung history, i-balance ang science sa mga field trips. Kasi kung minsan may expectations yung mga parents na sumasama sa mga bata o mga yaya nila kasama and so on. Pero dapat responsibilidad yan ng teacher. Maliwanag kung anong dapat ang objective ng ano. Pero sa probinsya, napakaganda ng mga field trips kasi usually nature trips yan eh. Oo, makikita nila plants, mga different species. They go to zoos, they go to parks, mga ganon. Siguro sa higher levels yun ang umaabot dito na magmumoling. Oo. Oo. Oh, yes. Oo. Yes.
Nalip na po ba yung ating moratorium?
Hindi po.
Hindi pa.
We have plans na kasi second quarter na po, and then most of the schools are already preparing for the field trips probably by next year.
Aha.
Do you have like a timeline kung kailan po siya?
Sa basic education, hindi naman gaano ka-problematic ang field trips because ang mga bata, you cannot take them so far off. Hindi kagaya sa college na galing sa Mindanao, aabot dito sa Maynila yan. O galing sa Maynila, aabot doon sa malalayong lugar. o sa ibang private schools na pupunta sa abroad, no? Pero sa mga bata, usually these are short activities. Ang aming concern lamang ay insofar as regulation, yung process of approval, what are the activities, kontrolado yan talaga from the teacher, principal, SDS, hanggang regional director kasi ang nag-approve up to the level of the regional director. So, kontrolado yan, regulated. Ang problema, yung sa tingin ko na kailangang i-regulate yung vehicles na ginagamit, yung mga tourist vehicles na ginagamit. Kasi ang accidents hindi naman nakukos ng lessons na binibigay ng teacher. Hindi naman yun nakukos ng ng actual places na binibisita. Ang accidents happen on the road. And yun ang sa palagay ko sa pagre-regulate kasama yung mga transportation, mga tourist companies or na kuminsan hindi naman ganun ka-trained ang kanilang tourist guides or hindi naman ganun ka-trained ang kanilang driver o mga overloading, mga state ng vehicles, doon ang issue. Kung idadagdag yan, wala na sigurong problema sa amin.
Kung pwede. Kasi ang instruction sa amin ni Secretary Lee, tignan natin yung usapin ng off-campus activities as it relates to the objectives ng curriculum. Kaya yung ilalabas na polisiya ay tungkol sa off-campus activities. Iba-iba yan eh. At inangkla yon doon sa tinatawag naming key stages. Kasi dahil nga panibago yung curriculum natin, K-12, no? Minarapat ng curriculum and instruction group, no? Na kailangan mayroong mga key stages. Yung key stages na yon, ito yung K-3, 4 to 6, 7 to 10, and then senior high school. Siyempre, iba-iba yung mga activities ayon doon sa mga key stages na yun.
Very closely regulated sa basic education kasi mga bata yun eh. Oo. Kaya so far, hindi ako aware from the time I sat and perhaps even before na may mga aksidente na children ang natatamaan. Usually sa tertiary ang mga pangyayari na yon. Oo.
Just to be clear, ma'am, does that mean that no school can organize until the moratorium
Yes.
Yes.
for this
Oo. Kasi yun ang hinahanap namin na i-regulate. Ipasok yung, I don't know kung LTRFB or Department of Tourism, na i-regulate nila yung state of vehicles and the state of mind of the driver. Kung minsan, puyat si driver o masyadong maraming ginagawa, patong-patong. Kung minsan, si driver hindi alam ang daan kung paano pupunta sa isang lugar, nawawala. Kung minsan, hindi well-maintained ang vehicle. Yun naman ang pinanggagalingan yan. Hindi sa content ng field trips themselves.
Kaya kasama kami sa guidelines.
Yes.
Our next question po is from Diomedes Racelis. Sec Briones, please take a look at how the National Achievement Test is being implemented. I learned from a number of test takers this year that the questionnaires are riddled with grammatically and typographical errors. They also noticed that there are subtle government propaganda embedded among the questions.
Yes, in addition to that question from social media, immediately the next day after the test, I received a number of feedbacks. So we are now looking into that. Kasi ang sistema namin is the same as that of the civil service. May pool of questions and then pool of experts. Tapos sinischedule yung paglabas ng questions. Kailangan reviewin yan in the light. Hindi lang kay isa ang nagsabi sa amin yan. For this particular test na nagbigay ng ganung feedback. Kaya tinitingnan namin yun. I'm waiting for the report of the Undersecretary for Curriculum. Kasi ang test, achievement test sa kanilang area yan. Para ma-review yung questions. Baka, kasi supposedly experts ang nagbibigay. Maybe i-reviewin din natin yung level ng expertise. Maybe kailangan magdagdag ng mga ibang mga experts. Reviewin natin ang gusto. Because times have changed. iba na ang panahon ngayon. Iba ang hinahanap natin. Oo. Okay.
Our next question po, can DepEd officially recognize online or distance education and allow self-educated and work-experienced people to take civil service exams?
Siguro naka-address yan sa sa tertiary education kasi ang pinag-usapan diyan civil service exams, no. Mga bata hindi pa naman sila nagti-take ng civil service exams. Tapos nakita ko yung question na yan ay sinasite yung leading universities natin like the LSU, UP, UST. They already have online programs. They have UP has Open University. You can get a degree. I know, for example, a security guard from the Visayas is enrolled in the UP online program. Also, nationals from other countries are enrolled in our online programs. So siguro yon ang rine-refer sa tertiary level or sa graduate level, not necessarily basic education.
Next question from Ray Kindo. Should we continue using our mother tongue as a medium of instruction from kindergarten to grade 3?
Totoo yan, from kindergarten to grade 3, sa basic education, we use the mother tongue. All the studies that have been conducted so far show that the learning process ay mas mabilis, mas comfortable para sa bata kung mag-umpisa with the mother tongue. Halimbawa, pag-start ng kindergarten, ang threatening yan para sa bata, stranger ang teacher. Kung umpisan mo kagad sa English, kung hindi siya sanay sa English, di bale na yung nagma-mother tongue ng English. Pero kung mother tongue as in Philippine languages, mas comfortable ang bata. At saka by the time na grade 3, na ready na siya to accept new things kung sa language niya. I myself, kasi when I came in, the policy was already enforced, no? I myself saw this in the case of the Marawi children. Now, as I mentioned in my earlier interviews, we have 27,000 Marawi children scattered in all the regions of the country. Name a region and you have a Marawi child because you have a Marawi family there. Dahil integrated naman talaga ang mga Marawi families. So they go to their relatives. Ngayon, ang napansin namin na yung mga bata, many of them speak only Marawi. So, kailangan din ng Marawi-speaking teacher. Importante ang mother tongue para mag-adjust sa mga bagong sitwasyon, making friends, etc. Ito lang helps the learning process for the child. Pag ready na ang child by grade 4, pwede nang mag-shift to English. But actually, I think sa curriculum gradually, pinapasukan na ng mga ibang languages. Kasi it's not only English which is taught. By the time you reach high school, we just decided that we will include Korean. And more than 1 million responses came in if we'll teach Korean daw. In addition to English, to Spanish, to French, to German. Chinese, of course, is also popular and so on. So, ayun. Ang visited a number of schools with Marawi children. And they are very well integrated kasi kasama nila yung parents nila. Oo. So, importante kasi yung parents na nandoon din. Oo. And so, ngayon, na-liberate na ang Marawi. So, aming nag-inventaryo kami. But we have always been monitoring. We have about 15 and about 20 will return. Kasi in the places that they went to, like ako, I'm familiar with Dumaguete, the mayor himself welcomed the evacuees, gave them shelter and said, if you need jobs, you tell us because we can refer you, because parents tend to be educated as well. And we're very fortunate in Dumaguete, may Marawi family, PhD yung mother. So, she helped in the integration of the children. Pinaprocess kasi nga, as I said initially, Marawi speaking ang mga bata. No? So, I'm not sure if all will return immediately. Pero where they have been accepted. Oo, kung babalik sila. Ngayon, I also have to emphasize that ARMM is an autonomous region. They have their own Secretary of Education and so on. So we are coordinating very closely with them. Sila ang nakaka-trace ng teacher. Sila ang nakaka-trace ng mga pupils kasi nandoon sa kanila yung records. But we set the policies and we coordinate very, very closely. We have excellent relationship with the ARMM Department of Education. Ang gawin namin, the minute na we will be allowed, kasi we have to get clearance from the military, kung pwede nang bumalik. By the way, I'm going to go to Marawi myself. Oo. Pardon? Hindi natin malaman kung pag magsabi na si military, go na kami kung cleaned up. Kasi we have to look at the state of the school buildings and the facilities. Kasi it's not only school buildings, it's computer rooms, laboratory, books, seats. No, and a few months ago, we already started campaigning for seats. No, kasi bibigyan natin sila ng monoblock. Hindi naman practical ang monoblock. It has to be, maski monoblock type, kailangan may desk. Oo, kasi hindi naman makasulat yung mga bata, may tables. Marami na kaming donations na natanggap at saka nakahanda na, naka-preposition na yon in case payagan na tayong bumalik. Tapos we will be conducting a brigada para sa Marawi. Yung brigada para sa Marawi, declare namin one day for cleaning up, for looking at the state of things. But it will not be only Department of Education, or it will not only be the Marawi officials or ARMM. We are inviting the entire country. So those who want to participate sa National Brigada for Marawi are all welcome to participate. Yung iba nag-indicate na nga sila na they want to adapt schools, pero marami na kami nakulat na furniture, at saka isa pang kailangan, hindi lang yung physical but yung tinatawag nating psychosocial assistance, not only for the teachers but also for the pupils and the learners themselves. Pero you start with the teachers. You cannot teach, you cannot calm down the children and if the teachers are in a state of trauma even until now. So all these things will be happening kasi plinano na yan as early as June. The minute that we will be given the go signal, then we will conduct brigada, and we will be working not only with ARMM Department of Education. Ito bagong feature na dinagdag ni President. We will be working with the local governments as well. Kasi sila ang nakakaalam talaga on the ground aside from the ARMM Department of Education. They attend our meetings regularly. And ako mismo, I have gone as close as we could. I have visited Iligan and Cagayan de Oro City because that's where the children are, a good number of them. Yes, and our people are out there on the ground. Mayroon kami yung DRRMC staff, mayroon ang aming regional directors, and they are reporting to us. Tsaka nagbibilang talaga. Oo. Ang thinking ko lang, baka hindi lahat makabalik kaagad. Kasi ang bata babalik, kasama yung pamilya. Ang pamilya babalik kung may tirahan. Diba? Hindi, kami, responsibilidad namin, estudyante. Oo. Yun nga, yung mga learners sa receiving schools in Region 1, 51, Region 4A, 399, sa Region 10, yun ang pinakamalaki sa Iligan, no? And Cagayan de Oro, this is 15,000, sa NCR, 703, and so on. So we have 27,673 Marawi children in all the regions. So we'll see what happens kung lahat ba ay babalik. Oo. So yung mga repair ng damaged school buildings, psychosocial support, mga prepositioning of mga learning spaces, mga chairs, lamesa, etc. Tapos yung operation na balik eskwela, brigada eskwela, tapos adapt school kasi maski hindi kami nagsabing you help us build the schools, maraming nag-i-interest sa private sector. Pero ang sabi namin, ang aming advice na binibigay, kung pwede sa amin ang design. Kasi ang standard ng schools namin ngayon ay nagbago na. Dati, kailangan makaresist ng 185 kilometer winds. Yolanda was the model. But now it is Lawin. So it has to be 350 kilometer winds. Sa earthquake, it used to be Bohol, which was our standard. Now it is Surigao. Oo. So mas mataas. Kasi ayaw natin na magdo-donate ng school building and then pag may daang bagyo, may dadaan na earthquake, babagsak lang. Oo. So kami ang mag-suggest ng design. Oo. Pero sila ang gagawa.
Ma'am, as far as Marawi is concerned, do you have a figure kung magkano ang rehabilitation ng mga eskwela?
Sa amin, easily, it will be up to 4 billion at least. Oo. Pero ang request namin, kung papayagan kami sa Department of Cagayan de Oro, Iligan, and Lanao del Norte, at saka nag-preposition na kami, yung mga halimbawa galing sa Maynila, magdo-donate sila ng furniture, mga desk. Sabi namin, huwag ninyong bilhin sa Manila, doon na sa Cagayan de Oro o sa Iligan. Sabihin ninyo sa supplier ninyo, as much as possible, mas gusto namin na sila na ang bibili, yung mga donors, para hindi na dadaan sa matagal pag sa proseso namin, mag-bidding, bigay sila ng pera, tapos mag-bidding kami. Sila na, tapos diretso na sa Iligan or Cagayan de Oro. No, so doon yung mga naka-stock yung mga furnitures na kailangan.
Sino mamang tatawagan nila?
Alin?
Kapag gusto mo
Sa mayroong regional director doon at saka nandoon naman yung mga division superintendents, but usually it's through the regional director. Oo, kasi yung mga probinsya yan eh. Oo. And Iligan is part of Region 10, Region 10, oo. It has been going on already.
Destroy na school records.
Nasa na yan, that will take some time because as I said, yung mga bata na nasa ibang regions ay in-enroll yan, walang documentation. Now, if they want, naman yan, ma-reconstruct naman yun eh. Pero ang records na sa yan, ARMM. Kasi sila ang Department of Education. Sa amin is policy, release of funds, coordination, overall. Pero ang actual operations,
Hindi dapat bawasan yung ilipat yung
binabantayan natin, let's see what will happen about 6 billion. So they will have to reconcile their different versions. So ngayon, mag-uusap ang BICAM.
still not decided.
No. BICAM committee. Oo. They are now preparing the respective positions.
You said that you would suggest other sources rather
Yes.
than school building.
Yes, rather than school buildings, rather than computers, rather than furniture. We will be suggesting other programs which we can postpone to the next year or whatever, but not the school buildings. Kasi every year, over 1 million children enter our school system. And of course, it's related to population policy, but that is the situation right now.
We sometimes hear about when they compare our higher education universities, we are not very high in the ratings. Is there a similar study on mass education among the countries of the world? How do we
English at saka yung technology. So by the time makatapos ng basic education ng isang bata, kung gusto niyang mag-enter world of work, pwede. So hindi masyadong competitive tayo kasi there were only 2 other countries, mga African countries which are at war. Angola and Djibouti. Oo, at tayo sa Philippines ang 10 years. Ngayon, we cannot tell yet, Mr. Ikban, because second year pa lang ng senior high school ito. This March, gagraduate yung ating mga bata sa senior high. That will be the time when we can perhaps assess kung nag-impact ba ang ating senior high school, and we hope magkaroon naman ng impact yung additional. But yung sa 10-year natin, hindi talaga tayo competitive. Yung mga marine personnel natin, even nurses, engineers, doctors, pagdating nila sa other countries, binibilang kaagad, kitang-kita kaagad. Even nurses, na halimbawa, they're occupying supervisory positions when they are here in the Philippines. By the time they go to the other countries, makikita yung kulang ng years of basic education. So they start at a much lower. Maraming ganon, hindi lang sinasabi siyempre ng nurses natin, pero they start at very low. Sa marine, pardon?
Pati engineers.
Yes, engineers. Even doctors.
Yeah,
Even doctors. Oo. You probably know personally of instances people or professionals go abroad and they occupy already very important levels or professional levels. Pagdating sa ibang bansa, hinahanapan sila. Oo.
In line with that, are you satisfied with the current curriculum?
Pardon?
Are you satisfied with the current K-12 curriculum? Do you feel that it's enough to prepare our students for the future?
Well, so far kasi the law on senior high school was passed 5 years ago. And 5 years yan na, 5 years na dinevelop. When we changed the curriculum, it was not just a question of adding 2 more years with several more. It was not like that. We changed the curriculum from kindergarten up to grade 12 because everything had to be integrated. Kasi kung magpatong ka lang ng 2 years na heavy sa science and technology, walang preparasyon ang bata. It will not work that way. So, you're asking if I am satisfied. We are continually assessing. Kasi ngayon lang namin ito implement, 1 year pa implementation. Next year, mag-graduate na yung aming senior high. At makikita natin kung umubra ba yung ating curriculum. But so far, yung curriculum natin is talagang every effort was made to make it responsive. Kasi there are 4 choices ngayon sa high school. Oo, kaya swerte tayong we had the usual common curriculum in high school. You can go to academics. Pag academic yan, maraming choices. The second strand is technical vocational. You have 90 choices as to what, mga welding, mga cooking, pastry, and so on, carpentry, kung ano, automotive, etc. Now, the third choice, where I always repeat, alam mo, memoryado mo na yung sinasabi ko, na is sports. So sports as a profession. And then the fourth is design and arts. 60% of our senior high school students who enrolled last year indicated that they, and I believe their parents want them to go academic. So 60% academic. They will go to college. They will proceed to college. 39% indicated they will go tech voc. That's 99%. Yung remaining 1%, ang remaining 1% are between sports and design. And kailangan sigurong tutulong tayo sa media and ang public na sports is a very respectable, not only respectable but also a very profitable profession. And you don't ask coaches if they have PhDs or if they have master's degrees. It's really their skill, and yun ang gusto sana nating i-develop. Pero kailangan mag-develop din, mag-provide ng sports facilities ang public school system. The other is also, again, the impression that if you go into fashion, you think of your neighborhood costurera. No? But fashion, or design, fashion and design and arts. Now, just a common set of furniture, mas mahal pa yan kaysa sweldo ng PhD. Oo. Doon ng ating tatargetin kasi 1% less than 0.5% ang both for sports and for yun ang kunting-kunti lang sa design. Oo. That is because yung sa isip natin kailangan may diploma. Kailangan may diploma. Sabi nga ng isang governor na kaibigan ko, I will not quote, name her because I have no permission. Sabi niya, we have a wallpaper mentality. Kailangan yung sala natin ay wallpaper yung lahat ng mga diploma. And unless mayroong diploma na magandang design, magandang wording, gold letter, seremonyas, para sa ay punto pa rin sa academic ang mga bata. Oo. Pero the jobs, of course, many jobs would really be in tech book and in in sports. Oo, and in fashion and design and also the arts. So arts, if you also make it very, very well, you don't have to die these days. Dati, artists die before they get how many million peso figures for their work. Now, they're living, and not only that, they are young. Yes, and doing also very, very well. Yung nga lang hindi nakikita pa rin ng publiko. Academic pa rin ang types nila. Oo.
Will there be an early enrollment for the senior high school?
Yes, usually January. Di ba January nag-enroll na?
Pero doon sa kasi natin, sa sistema natin, itong nakalipas na buwan, yung September up to October, meron tayong tinatawag na guidance career program kung saan yung mga grade 10 students will undergo that program, tapos eventually they will choose their preference. Tapos January, meron tayong early enrollment para ma-firm up kung sino yung pupunta sa anong track.
Paano sa Marawi? Paano po ng school calendar?
Yeah, kailangan ang i-adjust yan. Pero kung yung mga bata na bumabalik ay already enrolled, walang masyadong break. Kasi enrolled na sila sa other schools eh. Oo. Kaya kami, kuminsan nasasayangan na kaya nag-call kami talaga na the children should go to school wherever they are, mag-enroll kayo. Oo. Kaysa maghihintay kung kailangan makabalik, kung kailan makabalik. Kasi kung enrolled sila, they will not miss very much. Oo.
May figures kayo nung
Kasi common naman ang curriculum eh.
yung hindi umalis na school teacher.
Ang mga school teachers,
Children.
school children,
Na naiwan.
wala.
Nagyera, ma'am.
Hostages. Ang hostages siguro. Yon. Kasi karamihan, umalis. Either nasa surrounding municipalities or yung may mga kamag-anak kanya, imagine umabot sa sa region 1. There are 51 of them, region 2 23, region 3 131, region 4A 309. Depende kasi kung may mga kamag-anak sila eh. Doon naman sila pumupunta. Oo. Yan.
59 schools, ilan po doon yung completely hindi nag-open ang school year and ilan po doon yung may mga
Lahat hindi nag-open. Oo. So far, only 2 where yung nagbukas si MSU. MSU has basic ed schools also. Originally, ang balak ay 4 ang bubuksan. 2 lang ang nabuksan na pinayagan ng military when MSU started. Oo.
pero sa basic ed completely wala.
Well, except those 2 schools. Oo, na nasa loob ng campus ng MSU. Oo.
Kasi ma'am na, kasi hindi lang naman po 27,000 yung lahat ng students na naka-enroll of the 59 schools. Meron po ba tayong na-monitor na number ng students, kung ilan po silang lahat of sa 59 schools ma'am? Kahit nung previous school year po sila.
Ang ARMM ang may numbers niyan. But they're quite magkalapit. Oo, kasi ang kanilang estimate more than 20,000 din eh. Oo. Pati yung sila ang nakaka-trace ng teachers dahil alam nila yung mga cellphone and all that, the address. Oh. For a while, 'di ba, na-alarm ang public because sabi nila ilan yun, more than 100 teachers hindi nila matitrace and they're missing. Actually, nasa na yun, nasa Dumaguete, nasa ibang lugar.
Pero may reports po na namatay.
Yes, yung mga na-hostage. Yung unang putok sa Dansalan.
Mga ilang
Ilan lang yun at Not that many ata. Oo. Yung kinuhang hostage.
Ma'am, since nung in-announce po ni Presidente yung liberation ng Marawi, nakapag-meet na po ba ang cabinet about yung recovery, rehabilitation plan?
Yes.
Can you tell us what the President instructed as far as your department is concerned?
Well, as far kami, nagre-report kami because we are monitoring. Each department reports at saka coordinated lahat na activities by DRR MMC, no? Ang instructions niya, first time I reported, he was very touched by the need for psychosocial assistance. Kasi ang public, ang donate nila, ang binibigay, syempre, mga material things which are very important as well. Pero sabi namin na kasi we had been rendering psychosocial assistance to teachers, ubos na yung pondo namin sa DepEd na yung budget for that dahil hindi naman natin in-anticipate ang Marawi. When I said that, immediately nagbigay siya, nag-sponsor ang Office of the President ng psychosocial assistance. I said, we need to assist the teachers if you want, kasi everybody cares for the children, but if you want to help the children recover, we have to start with the teachers. And he immediately said, galing sa funds niya yon sa Office of the President, dinagdagan ang funding namin dahil naubusan na kami for the psychosocial assistance. And syempre yung instructions niya, in so far, for example, as the madrasa schools are concerned, no? Ang instructions niya ay all madrasa schools should be regulated by the Department of Education. Kasi mayroon namang registered schools, mayroong hindi. Oo, like all churches have schools, like us also sa Catholics, Protestants, may mga schools yan. Not all of them are registered, pero in the case of Marawi, gusto niya, all over the country, gusto niya iparegulate na ng Department of Education. Those are some of his instructions. Pero yung psychosocial, he immediately responded. So, galing sa Malacanang ang funding namin dyan ngayon for the assistance we are giving. Oo.
Ma'am, yung pagre-rebuild po ng mga nasirang eskwelahan, napag-usapan din po ba sa cabinet kung sinong tutulong sa pagre-rebuild po? Tutulong po ba yung engineering brigade ng AFP? Napag-usapan po ba yun?
Yes, napag-usapan yan kasi ang impression kasi is mas mabilis ang engineering brigade. Clockwork yan kung magtrabaho
So,
sila.
on top of the
They will be actively involved. Pero kami naman, ang proposal namin, since we still have funds sa basic education facilities fund, kung pwedeng gastusin namin from our own budget para kasi dadaan sa coordinating committee, dadaan ka sa magmamanage. So yun ang request namin. Oo. At saka sa repairs, pwede ding kukunin namin sa aming repairs and maintenance na budget. Oo. May separate quick response funds kami. Pool yan sa DR. Aming funds na lang for repair and maintenance namin kukunin yon. At saka alam naman namin na sa lahat ng mga facilities siguro dyan sa Marawi City na gustong mag-participate ang private sector, alam naman natin na doon talaga sila pupunta sa education, doon sila pupunta sa school buildings. It's cultural, no? So, yun ang aming inaasahan. Oo.
May timeline po ba?
Ha?
May timeline po o may projections po na ibinigay during the cabinet meeting for the reconstruction, rehabilitation to be at least 90% completed? Meron po bang timeline kayong inilaan?
Mahirap ng timeline dahil mahirap ma-determine kung kailan talaga pwede mag-umpisa. At saka yung aming nakukuha na information ay yung galing sa drone, galing sa photographs, galing sa oral reports, militar. Oo, kailan makita talaga. And we have to bring our engineers. Oo, and we have to work closely with ARMM. Pero ang DepEd ang may engineers. Oo. Yun ang Pero bilisan yan dahil eskwelahan eh.
Good afternoon po. question po from Twitter. This is from Adrian Atlis. What is the stand of DepEd on fraternities and sororities which up to now practice hazing for their initiation rites to their neophytes? Will DepEd sanction these schools who allow it?
DepEd order banning
We have already an order on that, banning fraternities. And besides, hindi ganon ka prevalent ang mga, kasi we are talking basic ed eh. Oo, kindergarten kids, I don't know if they will already start the fraternity culture at kindergarten. High school. By the time siguro sa senior high. Oo. So, binabana natin yung ano, ban ang fraternities.
and hazing is not allowed
Yeah.
to be used by any organization.
Yeah, hazing is not also allowed. Oo, kailangan may permit yung mga organizations. Oo.
This is another question po from Twitter. This is from Jean. Will DepEd allow LGBT topics in the new curriculum?
Yes. We have a circular. We will send Twitter a copy of our circular. We just issued a circular on gender. And the thing is, we teach the children know much more than we think. Let me tell you about a child growing up in the usual middle class community, living in a subdivision, my playmate, and then the lola was asking, why is it that your playmate, ang kuya niya, sobrang mapamili yun eh. And the child is only grade 2. Oo. So, whether we teach them or not, they already know because they see it in the lives of their classmates and of their friends. What we teach them is that so far as the family is concerned, we still have the basic notions about what constitutes a family. But there are emerging forms of families, and we should respect them. Extend to them the same respect that we expect that they will respect our traditional families. We're not saying sumunod kayo. We're just saying you respect each other, tolerate each other. And you'll also be surprised. I mean, you should not be surprised because you are much younger than I. Children have greater capacity for tolerance than we oldies have. Lalo na ako, lola. And it's the lolas always who are looking into who are the friends of their apos and so on. Oo. And they know of these things more than probably we suspect, even for gender and reproductive health.
Next question is from Bien Baril. Is there any plan for healthcare management insurance in the Department of Education, like enrollment
Yes.
in MaxCare or Care and other healthcare?
Not necessarily those groups that you are talking about. We have a provident fund, and it is not fully utilized, and it belongs to all of us in the Department of Education. We are planning to expand the range of services of the provident fund for healthcare, for other needs, so that perhaps our teachers will probably limit to a certain extent the level of their borrowings from outside institutions. We have plans for that, for provident care.
On top of the PhilHealth program.
Yes, on top of the PhilHealth. Kasi ngayon, PhilHealth, but all of us know that it is not necessarily adequate.
Next question po from Justin Ralph. Do you plan to include driving and road courtesy subjects in the K-12
It should be
program?
integrated.
Possibly, it should be integrated in the senior high kasi mga 17, 18 by ang senior high natin will already be 17 years old. Oo. In other countries that is done. Kasama yon yung road courtesy.
Road safety pa.
Road safety. Na they don't have to learn on their own.
Next question po, ma'am. This is from Rayu Astro. Is it possible to provide a free meal at school canteens to offer breakfast to students students whose parents don't have regular income?
School fees.
Right now, we have a school feeding program, but it is focused on what we call the wasted and the wasting children, yung severely undernourished children. And we have such a program. We provide meals for them. Senator Poe is very devoted to this cause, and we are expanding the coverage of this program kasi nakita natin that it works kasi ang feeding program is for 120 days. By the end of the 120 days, they really gain the expected weight. But the thing is, after the 120 days, baka back to wasting na naman. So, we're interested in expanding it. As a matter of fact, we're practically doubling the reach of our program right in our budget. Yes. Ang gusto ni DBM Secretary, ang target natin 1.8 million ang beneficiary target natin for 2017. Oo. Pero magiging 2.8 yan in 2018. Oo. Ang gusto ni Secretary Jokno, feeding program should be for all students. Yun nga lang, it will be very, we have to think in terms of the logistical requirements and the way it will be administered. Because right now, it's the parents who do the cooking, the parents supervised by the teachers. Because in the rural areas, they have their gardens, they have their rice fields, and they have their fish ponds, so they're able to feed the children. I have seen these operations myself, and they're working very well. Tuwan-tuwa naman yung mga magulang.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, this is a question from Mons Crisostomo. The driver's license and passport has now lengthened the year before expiration. What about licenses
PRC.
of teachers?
Again, I will repeat something na they're already bored to death. Sawang-sawa na sila. I will repeat something I always say. So, kasi Miss Bulletin, alam din niya yon. By the time our learners graduate, whatever we have taught them will be irrelevant. Maybe in 5 years' time, rules on driving will not change very much. But in 5 years' time, the catching up you have to do with knowledge will be really massive and tremendous. 3 years for me is even too short. Because every day, something new is happening. Every day, theories are being challenged. Every day, something new is invented. And if you are not abreast with all these things, then your learners will not be prepared for the world outside. By the time they graduate, wala na yung mga tinuro natin sa kanila. Kasi nagbago na talaga, especially science and technology, even cultural and moral values. Oo. So, I mean, driving is not like teaching.
Next, ma'am,
Earlier, DepEd released a study about the teacher education institutions that continued declining the performance of our teachers in the board exams. Can you comment on this?
Sa teachers board exams, oo.
In the past 9 years, ma'am, sobrang dismal ng performance ng teachers natin in the board exams.
Especially sa higher level. We have been debating over this. The issue was, do we lower the passing rate lower than 70, or do we retain and perhaps look into what is the problem? The thinking right now is we don't lower the passing rates, but we look into the content of the training. You were there. Where did we debate it? In a very
Execom, ma'am. Plus yung
Execom.
if I mean, yung there is this attached agency in the department called Teacher Education Council that is being looked into, especially now that the secretary issued a policy called Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, na binasihan din yon doon sa international standards for teachers. Ito ngayon yung gagamitin para sabihan natin ang ating mga teacher education institutions to CHED, no? Na baka pwedeng tignan na yung kanilang pre-service curriculum. Para sa ganon, ah, yung kung ano man yung tinuturo doon sa mga magiging guro, ay yun ang kailangan ng ating sistema. Maliban doon, kung maalala nyo, meron tayong K-12 program, di ba? Doon sa K-12 program natin, hindi ko lang maalala kung ano yung particular section na yun, pinahintulutan ang kagawaran mag-hire ng teachers na hindi pa left
Section
pattern.
8.
Yes.
Section 8.
They have 5 years, no?
Yes,
Ah,
ma'am.
Pass the,
To pass the let
let-
exam.
So,
they will
kasi,
work full-time.
syempre, as you go up the basic education ladder, kailangan mo ng content. Di ba? Mas yung, kaya pinahintulutan tayo. Samantalang, tinitignan pa natin yung pre-service curriculum.
At saka yung qualification standards na sinasabi natin, it's not only para sa Philippines, pero we have to be comparable. Kaya we are meeting regularly with our counterparts, for example, in ASEAN, sa CIMEO, na nagmi-meet kami para mas standardized. Like, for example, if you have ganitong level sa Pilipinas, anong equivalent doon? Yung tinatawag nating equivalences. So that magiging comparable tayo. And then when we hire their people, sasabihin nila, they have this degree, they have this level. Tingnan natin sa natin, anong equivalent yan? Does it comply with our own standards? So it will be a common equivalency system in Southeast Asia. Oo. So hindi natin sasabihin na iiwan tayo. Oo.
Among their suggestions is to look into the exams, the let exams.
Yes,
abolish
yes.
it if possible, because in other countries they say that they don't have for
DRC.
exams for teachers.
Mm,
But
mm,
in the Philippines, we do have that, but the performance is very low. Are you in favor of looking into the let exams or even abolishing?
There's a law
Oh,
na nasa
yeah.
amend yung batas.
Oo. Kailangan i-amend ang batas. But it does not stop us from looking. Looking lang naman assessing lang naman o research lang naman. Oo. And then perhaps it can be the basis for re-examining the law. Oo.
But to abolish, we need to amend.
Yes.
If they want to abolish, we need to amend the law.
We have to amend the law.
Let them put into the exams.
No, sabi nga ng ating kalihim, wala namang titigil sa atin sa batas na i-review.
Tingnan to review.
i-assess
Oo.
Bakit mababa ang nakukuha ng mga guro? May problema ba sa katanungan? O may problema sa pinag-aaralan siguro nila nung sila ay nasa 4 na taon nung nagpeprepara para kuhain yung pagsusulit. So, pero yung proposal to abolish, kailangan i-amend yung batas. Kasi yun ay tinakda.
Nasa batas.
And Sir David has said they've been asking the PRC to give them a copy of the exam for the past 9 years, but the PRC won't let them.
Bawal.
Kasi
Bawal.
bawal talaga yun.
Bawal, no?
Kasi yung mga leakage di ba?
Oo.
Ng mga
Since the past exams naman.
Maski na.
Parang
Pumaw.
kukonti lang.
Maski na.
Oo. Oo.
Pero kayo po in the part of DepEd, are you in favor of looking into that?
Looking, there's nothing wrong with looking. There's nothing wrong with assessing. Oh, all universities do that. That's why the world changes, because people look, because they re-examine, because they raise questions. And also, I'd like to share that in the law on the senior high school, because as I said, many things are changing, what we should teach them, and that is provided for by law, and we endeavor to do that. First thing is we have to teach our students to cope with change, because the world is changing very fast. It will not be like the way they were taught by their teacher. They have to be taught to be creative. Oo. And they have to be taught to solve problems. No. Not only to cope, but to accept change. And that is the difficulty of many of us. Especially, I really would have difficulty coping with change, especially since I'm not a techie. But the young people, we have to teach them right from the beginning that the world is changing, and it's not necessarily going to be a friendly world. It might even be a hostile environment. Environments are not necessarily friendly or facilitative. They'll be very challenging. And I have noticed that in other countries, they're also doing it. I asked a child who's studying in another country, how do they teach math? Ang sabi niya, it's not so much calculation or memory work, but it's really analysis. It's really solving problems. It's really reasoning. Oo. And we try to bring that in with the way we also teach math. So we have to teach, I don't know, because there are 674,000 of us, but we have to teach our children courage. Courage to live in a changing world, in a possibly hostile world, and a world which is so different from the loving home which nurtured and created them.
Last 3 questions na lang po from the
Sure.
netizens, ma'am.
Maski hanggang gabi, okay sa akin. I'm used to hearing sa Congress 12 hours. Sila ang give up They ask for a CR break. Yung the last hearing, they asked for a CR break. Sabi ko, I don't know about you youngsters, but I'm fine where I am. So wala kaming CR break. Sige.
Okay, ma'am. This is from Alma Donya. Approved na po ba na 55 years old na retirement age ng mga guro?
As far as I know, wala.
Civil service po ang 65.
Yes. Dear, the new normal is 70. 65 is the retirement age, but the new normal in the cabinet is at least 75.
Sa ibang bansa nga ma'am, tinataas yung...
Yes. In universities, walang age limit.
Ma'am, this is from Candy Bordeaux. Is it
Yung pagbibili nung pagkuha ng mga sites, no, school site. Siyempre, kailangan ng koordinasyon yan sa local government units dahil napakamahal na ng lupa dito
Tsaka wala nang magdo-donate, even if it will be named after their mother-in-law.
So, ang ginagawa ko, yun nga, parang merong shifting na tinatawag. Pero kung titignan nyo po, over the years, yung shifting natin ay bumababa na Dahil nga nakapag-construct na tayo ng mga multi-story building. Hindi na pwede dito yung horizontal expansion Kailangan vertical na talaga.
Like Manila, sabi ng congressman sa Manila, wag ninyo akong pangakuhan ng buildings because even if you will give me buildings, I will not accept. There is no space even for a flower pot, sabi nila. So unless you build up, yun ang Tapos, as said by Yusek Jess, yung ng buildable space, people are not inclined to donate very valuable property in the metropolitan areas for schools. Oo. Even if they will be honored, may medalya, may scroll, may named after a favorite relative, hindi na sila gagawa ng ganon. So we are thinking of other solutions like multi-story or having school communities outside the metropolitan area. Ibas na lang ang mga bata kasi talagang problema yan sa urban areas. But going back to these early hours, we're trying to limit them as much as possible.
Ma'am, dadagdag ko lang yun. Kasi kagaya dito sa Quezon City, hindi ko nababanggitin yung eskwelahan. Merong isang lugar dito o sa Valenzuela, merong eskwelahan na talagang nagsisiksikan yung mga bata. Kahit na sinabi na namin during early enrollment, ita-transfer namin kayo sa eskwelahan na malapit para hindi kayo magsiksikan. So, ang ginawa ng lokal na pamahalaan, naggawa sila ng busing system. Imbis na magsiksikan yung mga bata, sina-shuttle yung mga bata doon sa malapit na eskwelahan na hindi nasikip. Para lang mawala rin yung shifting na tinatawag.
Yes.
Importante po yung early enrollment.
Oo.
Amor Lopez.
Have you talked about how the education system would be in a federal form of government since the president is pushing for that?
Ang drift ng thinking ngayon is even kung halimbawa, matutuloy ang federal system of government, the general policies, the regulatory aspect will still be handled by the Department of Education. Otherwise, we'll have different curricula, we'll have different school hours, and so on and so forth. Mahirap yan. Oo. Maski federal system, still, ang Department of Education pa rin ang mag-regulate at mag-coordinate. Pero actual sila na. Oo. Oo. Yeah, like in ARMM, halimbawa ngayon, sila ang nag-aano ng teachers, sila ang nagpipili, sila ang nag-implement ng curriculum, pero yung curriculum sa atin. Oo. At saka we make allowances, yung sinasabi nating alive schools na tinuturo ang Arabic, tinuturo ang Islam. Yes, oo. O nagtuturo din ang madrasa, pero still regulated by us, registered with us, ang mga schools na ito.
Depending on the needs of the federal state, if ever.
Yes, pwedeng mag-make ng adjustments, pero yung minimum na natin, pangangailan, like they can add particular subjects with our approval and with our agreement, no? But still, we have to know. Oo. Oo. I-retain yan. And that's also the thinking of some leading congressmen. Ayaw nilang bitiwan yung regulatory aspect in the case of education.
Ma'am, handa na po ba yung mga teachers natin for another fall duty next year?
Reactions are mixed.
Ano po ang reactions? May gusto,
Merong gusto, merong
Rule na ngayon, ma'am, voluntary.
yeah.
Opo.
Ang drift ngayon ng mga opinions is
May batas na po,
oo.
ma'am.
Oo, ang rule daw ay kailangan voluntary.
Ang batas na kapapasa po lamang ng Kongreso at na nalagdaan ng Pangulo ay voluntary na po.
Voluntary.
There should be no problem po, ma'am. Kasi if we look at the number of members of the Board of Election Inspectors, nasa humigit kumulang 200,000 po lang yan, ma'am, hanggang 250,000, and we have more or less 700,000 teachers. Kaya we're very much okay with the supply.
May allowance naman sila.
At yung allowances din po.
May security.
Kasama ko. Binibigyan rin po ng insurance.
Yeah.
Insurance?
Yung pagdating po, ma'am.
Pwede ba yung isama sa special hazard pay?
Hindi ba comment ang present?
Oo nga, wala nga. Oo.
Mas gusto po ngayon ng mga guro, lalo na po kapag yung national elections ang pinag-uusapan. Dahil automated, mas mabilis po yung kanilang responsibilidad, ma'am. Unlike before na mano-mano yung pagbibilang, at doon po yung peligro na yun po yung ayaw nila, pati yung paglipat. Ngayon po, konting pindot lamang po doon sa makina na itatransmit na po yung resulta. So, gusto po nila mag-render ng service. Yung mangyayari po naman sa barangay elections, bagamat mano-mano po ito, yung issue po nung transporting the ballots, wala rin naman. At medyo mas hindi po kasi init ng labanan kaysa sa...
Oo nga, sir. On that note, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagpunta sa aming hot seat, Secretary Briones.
Kulang pa?
Yeah.
We will continue over lunch.
Sure.
Ma'am, one last na lang. Can you give us an update about the drug testing process?
The drug testing, we presented it before the Cabinet, no? And we emphasized that the drug testing activity is really ang basic principle dyan, we look at drug addiction as a medical problem. It's a disease. And so therefore, we are working very closely. Ang partner namin dito ay Department of Health. Oo. And like any disease, it has to be diagnosed. The prevalence has to be determined. And then cures have to be instituted in case there are findings. It has nothing to do with activities of other agencies of government. At saka, we now have this Privacy Commission, which is very, very, very strict about privacy of information. Sinasabi na namin na the identity of the child will never be found out kasi coded yung mga sila. At saka, it will not be used for discipline, for expulsion, wala. And there will be nothing on the record of the child na makikita mo na once in their lives when they were 10 years old, they experimented with these things. Wala. And we have to be complying with the requirements of the Privacy Commission as well as our own system. Tapos ang sampling formula looks forward to a 95% degree of accuracy. For our own central office, it will be 100%, 1,300 kami. The regional offices, 100%, 100%. Sa children, including the divisions, for the learners to be 20,000, for the teachers, 20,000. But we will not be revealing what schools, where, what regions. Ang masasabi lang namin na kami, sa central office, sa regional offices, mga employees namin, yan 100% talaga sa atin sa central office. Oo. But we will not announce it or mag-hint. Baka mag-press release kami, may streamer. Drug testing here. Please form a line. Wala nang papasok.
Let's have lunch po.
Sige.
Prepare lunch
Okay.
for everyone.
Thank you.
I'll break this.
Bigay na lang sa kanila. Thank you.
Ay, ma'am. Yung sandali, ma'am.
Oh.